What would you do if a cop stretched out his hand and said, "Can I see your phone right now?" If you say yes or unlock it, you can lose your privacy in seconds. One nervous mistake can turn a simple stop into a full-blown case against you. Hit subscribe right now because what I'm about to show you could save you from a massive legal nightmare. Like this video now so you can find these exact words again when your mind goes blank under pressure. Most people have no idea how dangerous that moment really is for you. Your phone is not just a phone, it's your messages, your photos, your search history, your location, your notes, your bank apps, your private life, and sometimes your biggest weakness. Let me show you exactly what to say when an officer asks to see it, what never to do with your hands, how to stop a traffic stop from turning into a fishing trip, and the one sentence that tells police you are done talking. You're also going to learn the court rulings that back this up in plain English. No lawyer talk, no confusion, just simple lines you can remember when your heart is pounding and your mouth goes dry. Here's the reality. Most drivers think being nice means saying yes. They think one quick look will make everything easier. They think refusing makes them look guilty. That is exactly why so many people hand over their own evidence without even knowing it. I've analyzed over 200 body cam videos, and you see the same pattern again and again. The officer asks in a calm voice. The driver panics. The driver tries to look helpful. Then the driver starts unlocking the phone, answering extra questions, and filling silence with nervous talking. That is when your problems grow fast. Your goal is not to win a roadside debate. Your goal is to protect your rights, keep the stop from growing, and avoid helping build a case against yourself. The first thing you do is shut down consent fast and clearly. Here's the trick they don't want you knowing. Police love consent because it is the easiest shortcut in the world. If you give permission, they do not have to fight as hard over whether the search was fair later. Here's exactly what you say. "Officer, I do not consent to any search of my phone." Word for word, memorize that line. Say it in a calm voice. Say it once. Do not ramble after it. Do not say you have nothing to hide. Do not smile and soften it with maybe. Do not turn it into a speech. Just say the sentence and stop. Why does this help you so much? Because consent is one of the fastest ways people throw away protection. If you say yes or even hand over the phone unlocked, you make the officer's job easy. If you say no, the officer needs some other legal reason. That does not mean the scene magically ends. It means you did not make it easier for them with your own mouth and hands. Defense attorneys use this exact line in court. That matters because later your lawyer can point to your clear refusal instead of fighting over whether you sounded unsure or cooperative. Bad way. Most drivers say, "Sure, go ahead, I've got nothing to hide." Then the officer starts scrolling, sees something unrelated, and the stop gets much worse. Good way. Smart drivers say, "Officer, I do not consent to any search of my phone." Then the officer loses the easy shortcut and has to stand on some other legal ground. Watch what happens when you refuse the right way. The officer may act surprised. The officer may sound annoyed. The officer may try guilt. They may say, "If you did nothing wrong, why not?" That is bait for you. Do not grab it. Stay boring, stay calm, stay simple. Former police officers have confirmed this works because calm refusal changes the whole tone of the stop. You are no longer helping. You are forcing the next move to be their choice, not yours. Now for the legal backup. In Riley versus California, the Supreme Court said police generally need a warrant before searching the digital contents of a cell phone. In plain English, your phone is not treated like a wallet or a cigarette pack. The court said phones hold huge amounts of private information, so police usually cannot just dig through your digital life because they want to. This comes straight from Supreme Court rulings. That is why refusing consent matters so much for you. This is 100% legal. You are allowed to say no to a search. Have you ever been asked for your phone, even in a casual way? Drop a comment below because I want to know if you saw this pressure coming before today. The second thing you do is never unlock the phone for them yourself. This part is huge for you. A locked phone is a barrier. An unlocked phone is an open door. If you open that door, you may never be able to close it again. Here's exactly what you say. "I do not consent, I will not unlock my phone, and I will not give my passcode." Those exact words are short, clear, and powerful. If you want, add one more question after that. Do you have a warrant? Keep it calm, keep it clean, then stop talking. Listen closely because this is critical. There is a big difference between police taking a phone and police searching what is inside it. People confuse that all the time. An officer might seize the phone for the moment. That does not mean you should help them get into it. Your job is not to solve their problem. Your job is to avoid becoming your own worst witness. If they cannot get in quickly, that buys you time, and time matters. Time means cooler heads. Time means legal review. Time means your lawyer may get involved before you make a bad move. Bad way. Most drivers say, "Okay, I'll unlock it real quick." Then they hand police the easiest access point they had. Good way. Smart drivers say, I do not consent, I will not unlock my phone, and I will not give my passcode. Then the officer has to deal with the legal wall instead of your cooperation. Here's why this matters for you so much. Your phone can show way more than one text or one photo. It can show app history, contacts, old messages, cloud links, saved logins, private notes, drafts you never sent, and pictures taken out of context. Something innocent can look suspicious when an officer already thinks you're hiding something. Legal experts agree this is your strongest protection. If you unlock the phone out of fear, you can lose the one barrier that was still helping you. Now, I need to be honest with you. The law on forced unlocking is still messy in some places. Some courts treat passcodes differently from fingerprints or face scans. Some courts say the government can push harder with one method than another. That is exactly why you should not volunteer access on the roadside. Let the legal fight stay legal. Do not settle it with your thumb. Let me show you exactly why staying silent with the device matters. Once your phone is open, the argument changes from should they see it to what did they already see. And yes, you can protect yourself before a stop ever happens. Use a strong passcode. Think hard about how your phone unlocks. If privacy matters to you, set your device up like you expect pressure one day. That is not paranoia. That is planning. This is 100% legal. You are not hiding from the law. You are using the protection the law already gives you. The third thing you do is stop the stop from turning into a long investigation. This is where many people mess up badly. A traffic stop has a mission, license, registration, insurance, warning, or ticket. Then you go. But some officers keep talking after that because they hope you keep cooperating. That is when you need your next line ready. You look at the officer and say this: Am I being detained or am I free to go? Those exact words matter because they force the moment into the open. If the stop is supposed to be over, that question exposes it. If the officer says you are free to go, you leave calmly. If the officer says you are detained, then you know this is not friendly small talk anymore. Now you tighten up. No extra stories, no side jokes, no nervous explaining. You stop volunteering. Here's the reality. The longer you stand there chatting, the more chances you give them to build suspicion, ask for your phone again, or turn a traffic stop into something much bigger. Bad way. Most drivers say, yeah, what else do you need? Then the stop keeps growing and the questions get more personal. Good way. Smart drivers say, am I being detained or am I free to go? Then the officer has to either end the stop or explain why you are still there. Watch what happens when you ask that at the right time. The whole encounter gets clearer. No fake middle ground, no guessing. No standing there hoping the officer is done while you keep feeding the conversation. Former police officers have confirmed this works because it puts structure back into the stop. It makes the officer choose between letting you leave or showing a legal reason to hold you. And there is strong law behind this for you too. In Rodriguez versus United States, the Supreme Court said police cannot drag out a traffic stop longer than needed for the traffic mission unless they have a separate reason. In plain English, they cannot finish the ticket business and then keep you there just to go fishing for something else. That matters because your phone often becomes the next target after the easy paperwork phase ends. If you ask whether you are free to go, you make the timing issue harder for them to blur. This comes straight from Supreme Court rulings, and it gives you a simple way to stop endless roadside chatting from becoming a trap. Most people already clicked away. If you're still here, you're in the top 10%. Drop a comment saying I'm still here because this next move is what protects you when the pressure gets personal. If the officer keeps pushing or if you get arrested, your final move is to stop talking completely and ask for a lawyer. This is where you save yourself from making the worst mistake of all. People think the big danger is only the phone. It's not. The phone plus your mouth is where the real damage happens. Here's exactly what you say. I am exercising my right to remain silent. I want a lawyer. That is your line. Short, clean, powerful, then you stop talking. Why does this help you? Because once the phone becomes part of the scene, police may ask questions that sound small but are actually deadly. Is this your phone? Who were you texting? Why did you delete that message? Why were you at that address? Is that your account? Did you search that today? Each answer gives them more than you think. Even innocent answers can lock you into a story before your lawyer sees a single report. If your words later clash with what they claim the phone shows, now you have a second problem built on top of the first one. Bad way. Most drivers say, I can explain everything. Then they start guessing, filling silence, and talking themselves into deeper trouble. Good way. Smart drivers say, I am exercising my right to remain silent. I want a lawyer. Then the officer gets a lot less from them. This move also helps you keep the scene safer. You can obey physical commands without giving verbal help. If they tell you to step out, you step out. If they tell you to keep your hands visible, you do it. If they take the phone, you do not fight over it. But you do not explain, confess, guess, unlock, or chat. That difference matters for you. Resistance with your body can make things dangerous fast. Resistance with calm words protects your rights without turning the stop into a physical struggle. And if you think this sounds too simple, that is the whole point. Simple works under stress. Long speeches die under stress. When your heart is pounding, you need a line you can actually remember. I am exercising my right to remain silent. I want a lawyer. That line protects you because it ends the guessing game. Police know where you stand. You know where you stand. Your lawyer gets a cleaner mess to work with later. Defense attorneys use this exact line in court because people who talk less usually give the state less to use against them. Now let's pull the legal picture together for you. Riley versus California says police generally need a warrant to search the digital contents of your phone. In plain English, your phone holds so much private stuff that police usually need a judge's okay before digging through it. Rodriguez versus United States says police cannot stretch a traffic stop past its real purpose without another legal reason. In plain English, they do not get to keep you there forever while they go hunting. Carpenter versus United States says police generally need a warrant to get long-term historical phone location data from your carrier. In plain English, the court recognized that your phone can track your life in a deeply private way. Put those three cases together, and the message is simple for you. Your phone is private, your stop has limits, your location trail is protected too. I'm not saying police always play fair. I'm saying the law gives you stronger ground than most people realize if you stop helping them. Now let's walk through a real stop so you can hear exactly how this sounds. You're driving home at night, you get pulled over for a broken taillight. The officer takes your license, checks your information, and comes back a few minutes later. Then the officer says, "Hey, before I let you go, can I see your phone for a second?" Maybe the officer says there was a complaint about texting while driving. Maybe the officer says this will be quick. Maybe the officer says if you have nothing to hide, there's no reason to say no. Bad way. Most drivers say, "Sure, here you go." Then they unlock the phone, hand it over, answer every question, and stand there while the officer looks for more. Now hear the right way for you. You keep your hands where they can be seen. You stay calm. You say, "Officer, I do not consent to any search of my phone." If the officer asks you to unlock it, you say, "I do not consent. I will not unlock my phone, and I will not give my passcode." If the ticket or warning seems done and the officer keeps digging, you ask, "Am I being detained or am I free to go?" If the officer says you are free to go, you leave. If the officer says you are being detained, you stop volunteering anything else. If the officer arrests you or keeps pressing with questions, you say, "I am exercising my right to remain silent. I want a lawyer." That is the full chain for you. Short lines, calm voice, no extra speech, no explaining, no arguing, no unlocking, no trying to talk your way out of what your phone might show. Watch what happens in the good version. You stop feeding the stop. You preserve your rights. You avoid giving consent. You avoid helping with access. You avoid stretching the encounter with your own words. Even if the officer still takes the phone, you did not hand over the keys. That puts you and your lawyer in a much stronger position later than the driver who smiled, unlocked, chatted, and hoped for the best. Next week, I'm revealing what to say when cops claim they smell weed coming from your car. Subscribe right now so you don't miss it, because that line gets people searched every single day. So lock these 4 moves into your head right now. First, refuse consent clearly and say you do not consent to a search of your phone. Second, never unlock the phone or give your passcode just because an officer asks. Third, ask if you are being detained or free to go so the stop does not quietly grow into an investigation. Fourth, if pressure keeps rising, stop talking and ask for a lawyer. You do not need a perfect memory. You need a few sharp lines you can still use when your nerves hit hard. Hit subscribe so you catch the next video before your next traffic stop catches you first. Smash that like button if this gave you a real plan you can actually remember. And drop a comment telling me which line shocked you most and which one you'll memorize tonight. Stay calm, protect your phone, and protect your own words.